Hey folks, welcome back to the cabin build. We are finally making some progress internally. We're getting the hallway, there's some rooms now. We're dividing up all the spaces, so stick around and I'll show you what we've been up to. Hey folks, welcome back. Believe it or not, I'm finally back on the cabin project. We got a little bit distracted by holidays, sheep, pigs and all sorts of farmy stuff. But we're back on it and you can see I made a bit of progress without you. So yesterday, managed to get this wall up on this end. We put the airtight tape on all the OSB. That's just going to help with any kind of air movement. And you can see also down this end, everything's taped up. But here's a little look at that tape going on. Fairly straightforward. Joe and I did that yesterday. So we're finally on to taping the walls, and this is to basically make them a bit more airtight. The OSB, certain OSBs are more airtight than others, but basically we're just looking for less air change throughout the whole building, just to keep it more efficient. So this is just taping over all those joints, and it's just a super expensive parcel tape by the looks of it. But it is a really strong adhesive. We'll need to go over with a roller as well, just to make sure it's kind of pressure sensitive. So what's in store today? Well, kind of a bit of a reset really. I need to get tools and workshop area set up in here, and also make a start on some stud walls. So I've got a bunch of stuff coming from Bradford's delivery, but that won't be here for a day or two. I've got a number of walls worth of stud work, probably enough to get one side of the cabin done, maybe, although we might end up using more than we think. So we can make a start today. Did have a few questions about the OSB that I'm using. It's normal OSB 3, but it is 9mm, which is relatively thin, but perfectly adequate for this sort of application. One of the main reasons, or the main reason actually for going 9mm over 12, apart from weight, was 9mm OSB you will usually find always comes in metric. Every other sheet of OSB that's standard stock is in 8x4 sheets. It's an absolute nightmare and a bit of a weird situation why it's still a mixture in the UK. If your stud work is metric, then you're going to want everything in metric. But then if you thought, oh, I'm going to use 18mm OSB, I'll come to terms with the fact it's all going to be in 8x4 feet sheets. You set your studs out at 16 inches or 24 inches, and then you come to plasterboard the inside, and of course plasterboard's always going to be in metric, or usually is. So it's a bit bonkers really. Anyway, we stayed metric and we stayed strong. And we got there in the end, and 9mm was the answer. This isn't the most efficient way to use the OSB, but we're always going to be able to use it at the offcuts. And we've got a few other patches to fill in anyway. Right, lots of thinking on the go here, as always. So I've worked out exactly where I want my wall to be. This is where the kitchen units, all built-ins along here. Oh. Hold the fort, mother on the phone. Okay, so our kitchen is going to have a full wall of built-ins, so fridge, freezer, units above, side larder units and stuff. So from that point, we want to go. I've gone 650. Put this stud on, and then I'm going to level up this stud. Oh, who now? Hello, darling. Shall we try again? As if I measure here to the end wall, 8, 4, 4, 1. We basically want to get this line right. So 8, 4, 4, 1. 8, 4, 4, 1. Right, we will get some noggins in here. Makes sense to try and match them with kitchen unit height, maybe. So we've got a bit more strength at that point, and then I won't have to go quite so thick with whatever sheet of material I put over here. Anyway, that is in. It's all plumbed up. It's fixed down. It's fixed into the outside wall. I'm kind of on the roll now. I feel like we should carry on and get another wall done. First thing I need to do is scrape up this floor, though. So it's obviously a mess in there anyway. But remember way back when we put this flooring down, it uses a polyurethane glue between the joins, and that expands up and gives these ridges. That kept it weather tight and waterproof when we were exposed to the elements. We had water sat on here and it was just all miserable back then. It held up just fine. Well, we'll soon see how much deflection there is in the floor. Hopefully it's going to be all right. But first thing I need to do is scrape off those, sweep everything down, and then I can get ready to put these walls in. Time to do a bit more thinking, a bit more design and material planning as we go. We need to think about weight, of course. We kind of thought about weight as we went, but we need to be sensible about it now. And plasterboard is so heavy when you consider you might need 50 sheets. It's just a ton for the ceilings, for example. With the walls, if we went and used thinner plasterboard, 9.5mm plasterboard, then we would be needing to be at 400 centres. If we do that, we can save about 5 kilo per board. If we want to use 12.5mm plasterboard, the normal thickness stuff, then we can stick at 600 centres. The difference being, though, let's use the wall behind you for an example. This wall, for example, we just built 600 centres, which has taken us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 studs to do. If we wanted to plasterboard this one's a bit different because it's going to be boarded, ready for the kitchen. But if we wanted to plasterboard this, we'd have to use 12.5mm plasterboard, and we need 5 sheets to complete it. So there's 25 kilograms in just this wall that we could save by using 9.5mm plasterboard. We would need to add in 2 extra studs to account for it, but a 63mm, a thinner stud is only 2.5 kilograms, I think. So even by adding 2 studs in here, we're still 20 kilograms lighter in each wall. So if you times that by what we've got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and another one, well, and the hallway. So let's call it probably the equivalent of 9 walls. 9 times 20 is 180. So there's probably a couple of 100 kilograms saved by going for thinner plasterboard, but at 400 centres with the lighter weight timber. And I haven't even accounted for the fact that the timber itself is lighter because it's 2/3 of the thickness. I think they'll be strong enough as well. It's not a huge expanse. It's anchored on all 4 sides and they're fairly straightforward walls. And with the noggins in, we should be good. So there you go. You've just reassured me. I've reassured myself. We're going to stick with 9.5mm plasterboard, but we're going to drop down to 400 centres. Let's do it. Let's get it up. Right, back on it today with the stud work. Joe's here. Everyone's back at school and nursery. Perfect. We're on stud walls again. Still, it's the same video. And now Joe and I just finished framing up the next wall. So if we're going to go with the bath width that way, yeah, the line and the X marks the spot.
It really is going to be a wiggle.
Oh, just shorten them. They shouldn't be too long. Beautiful. Right, first up folks, I'm going to have to apologise. This video has been all over the place. Endless different kind of cameras, phone, different days. We were just making it up as we went. I'm afraid it's been one of those weeks, and of course there's been a lot of changes in the world this week, so we just kind of took a back seat on it all and just chipped away at things in the background. But I'd like to give you a little bit of a walk around, and then I promise you the next video we'll be back on it. We'll be more organised and we were raring to go. One thing we're definitely going to have to do is sort of have some work lights in here because it's getting darker by the minute, and we've got plasterboard arriving this week. Windows are going to go in at a later date. So we are down right at the end in Eden's bedroom. They're all fairly equal, the sizes of the bedrooms, but this one goes across because it's at the end of the hallway. Then we're through into the master bedroom. We kept things simple in the end. Did different wall shapes and plans originally, but we've gone for just nice straight walls, and we'll have built-in sort of freestanding furniture rather than kind of trying to build in walls to create the wardrobes, if that makes sense. Bathroom, we're still thinking we might just push that other wall a little bit that way. We've made a big change on that utility. We're just going to go big on that. Still got these two doors here to frame out, and then those will be ready. I'm now going to block up this door, so it's just one huge utility room in here and a toilet in the corner, potentially my little desk. The more we thought about it, it's all got to be, the priority has got to be a mudroom, utility, pet room, whatever it is. Before long, there'll be all sorts going in here, being dumped in here, whether it's deliveries or orphan lambs. I'm pretty sure this room's going to see it all. Next week, we'll have a look at starting to batten out the walls and also get plasterboard on. We've got the electricians all booked in, so we need to get that ready, leave it nice and open for them. They can fire all the first fix in, and then we can get cracking and just get this whole place boarded. And of course, we've got to get this roof on because the membrane's great, but it's not going to last forever. And we also need to insulate this end. But I'm going to give you a couple of little detailed bits that I just rushed ahead in time lapses. We've put extra studs in perpendicular to the other ones to make sure we've got space to catch plasterboard. So in the corner here, you can see we've got plenty of fixing space. Same again down this end where we were coming off at right angle to this wall that went in first. We put a wider stud here. We're only using 63mm CLS, which means that we can still get space either side to get a screw in. Where possible, I've been fitting studs to the studs that lie in the external walls. It's not the end of the world if they don't quite catch, because we've got fixing point top and bottom, and we can still screw into this OSB, but it's nice to go into something firm. Then the noggins I've set at a straight level line, and that's mainly because we're both going to be plasterboarding and panelling in here, and it won't be panelling over the top of the plasterboard, just simply down to weight. So it means that we could use 9.5mm plasterboard above, 9mm MDF below, and put a trim along that join. Panel below, plasterboard above. That might happen. It might just be all plasterboard, but we've got the option now. On most of the OSB external walls, we'll see battens go on first before plasterboard to create a nice little cavity there for running surfaces through. On the girls' bedrooms, we've decided that they've got plenty of space on the other three walls in the stud work for sockets, so we're just going to put plasterboard directly over these walls. It only saves 25mm, but every little counts, and it will just be an easy thing that we can crack on and get done. And also it means we save on the weight of those battens. Every little bit of weight now is going to make a difference, I think. Of course, we should have been thinking about it right from the beginning, but I still think we are well within the scopes of what we were meant to be aiming for on these chassis. The chassis are 10 tons each, rated for 10 tons each. I don't think we're going to be anywhere near that, but it is adding up. Jury's still out in the bathroom. I think we're going to shift this wall a little bit, so we'll make it a bit bigger, change the direction of the bath, and then we should be able to squeeze in a separate shower and a bath. The other option is to stick the shower into the utility, but even that's getting pretty cramped in there. Even though it's going to be a bigger room now, we're trying to put more stuff into it, more storage, more worktops, a sink, and things like that. So there we go. I hope you've enjoyed seeing the progress. We will endeavour to make some more progress this week, and hopefully 2 or 3 videos, so we can really ramp it up and get this thing moving. A huge thank you to you guys for watching. If you want to see some more behind the scenes stuff, head over to Patreon. Thanks to Speedy for sponsoring these videos. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Remember, if you can, do it yourself, and we'll see you next time.